Welcome back to another episode of the Built for Growth podcast. Today we have a truly inspiring guest. Brooklinn Khoury is a talented professional skater. She's a model and she's so much more. But I think the point where I started to become very vested in her story, as many others, if you maybe already follow her, is that she's a survivor of a life changing dog attack. And when I say life changing, I'm talking about totally disfigured her face. We will dive into her journey, the challenges she's faced, and how she's overcome them while continuing to inspire those around her, myself included. So, as always, thank you for listening. Yeah, that was a fun little fiasco. So we were just like sitting in here while he was like troubleshooting all the cameras. But hey, we're here.
We're here.
Made it. You're in Vegas.
I'm in Vegas.
Thank you. We've been trying to make this happen for a while.
Way too long.
Right? Like, I want to say a couple of years because time goes by really fast. But like, I think I kind of hit you up. It was over a year ago.
100% over a year ago.
Over a year ago.
I was even looking and I was like, wow, we really have been trying to see each other.
Yeah.
And it just happened to have worked. So I'm happy for that.
Happened to work. What? Explain to me what you're here for again.
I don't even know. My neighbors are doing something for this trade show and they invite me every year. So I just make a little trip out of it. But it's like perfect because I got to be with you. So happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, for sure. I can't wait to dive into everything. You know, I know that the obvious thing everybody always wants to talk to you about is like this terrible accident that happened with the dog.
What accident?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Yeah. Everyone wants to talk to you about it, and I think it's because you're so inspiring through that. Which I want to get into it, but I really do want to start with like you, like your background. You were telling me a little bit about your parents and like where they're from. So like, can you tell the liurners a little bit about that? Like where your parents from?
Yeah. So my mom's from Greece and my dad's from Lebanon. And like we were talking before, I feel like there's a lot of culture that I surround myself with that makes me, I think, who I am today. And just my parents, the backbone that they have, they're just insane and they're so strong. And I've learned honestly so much from them. So it's made me just in the attack, how I was able to shape it and come out of that 100% was from them. But yeah, I'm a skateboarder. I live in Southern California and we were talking about purpose earlier. And I think everyone's still trying to find their purpose, but purpose is to make people feel less alone right now and just be happy while I'm doing it. Skate.
Oh, you just said that so easy because before you were making it sound like you're like, I don't know.
That honestly, I just not thinking about it, not thinking about it, and just like letting it like come out honestly helps. But I think like making people feel less alone because I was thinking about it and like going through the attack. I know we're like jumping ahead, but going through the attack, like I didn't really want. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. No, finish your thought. And like we'll circle back around. But like what were you thinking like when this happened?
Yeah. When I was going through the attack and I was like alone because it was during COVID. It was 2020, like the worst year for everyone, I'm sure. But also I feel like the most transforming and growth of a year that people have had. But 2020 went into the hospital and I couldn't have anyone with me. So I was just like alone with my phone. So I'd just gotten attacked, was looking online to see if I could relate to anybody. Because when people are going through things, we want to be able to relate and feel comforted from someone or like we're going to get through it and have examples of how you're going to do that. But I was searching online for someone that got attacked by a dog or someone that got attacked in general so that I can feel like I was going to be okay in that moment. Couldn't find anything. So I was alone, then also feeling like I was the only one isolating going through this whole situation. So I just started filming everything because I was like, I don't want someone, God forbid, that to happen to them and them be like, oh my God, I feel so alone. I wanted to be someone that someone could relate to if they were unfortunately going through what I was going through in that moment.
So you literally were in the hospital, your face like is like
bleeding out,
and like you're literally thinking like, oh, I can't find anyone else, so I'm just gonna start filming this.
Yeah. I don't know why. Wild. And I had like 20% battery on my phone. And I was like, I'm just
that just is a testament to how sweet of a person you are because like most people I think who are going through that would only be like really thinking about themselves. Like, I mean, you were looking for comfort, which is natural and normal, but like your immediate reaction to not finding the comfort was like, well, then let me become that comfort for someone else.
It's so random. I just, like I said, was so alone and I felt so isolated in that moment. And I was like, oh my God. The way that I'm feeling right now, I don't want anyone to have to feel like that ever. Because I was just sitting there with my nurse, Lisa. Like, I still haven't gone in contact with her, but she was honestly like a little angel. I'm so thankful for her. But I was just alone. And I was like, for anyone to feel like this, it was a horrible feeling. Just isolated and just singled out. And I was like, I don't want that to be anyone else's way. So I was like, yeah, it's time to film everything. And I literally, I could show you. It's crazy. what I was feeling.
Well, I mean, I have followed it on Instagram, but I'm sure there's a whole lot more than just what you
That's like the
share.
censored version.
Yeah, the censored version. But it's still like, I mean, you tell a really good story on there, and I think it's very inspiring. It obviously really led me to feel like, I don't know, when I saw your social media, it would have been cool. Like if I would have come across you as a skater, like I might have followed you, I might not have, I don't know. I like other female athletes, so I probably would have just been like, yeah, sure, cool. But like, that's great, like sporter. But like your attitude and your message was really resonated with me.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was those vulnerable moments that you were able to just be like, hey, this is me. This is real. This is raw. I'm going to smile through it. And this is like, I'm going to just be a light. It's not going to change who I am. It doesn't define me. Like, this is just part of my story.
Yeah. And I think it's hard too, because like when you go through that, such a dramatic change in your life, I feel like the ones that are around you that love you they want to like comfort you and support you and almost like protect you from harsh comments online or being vulnerable, because it is such, I mean, I just remember when I was first going through it, my mom's like, Brooklyn, like, you don't have to post anything and you don't have to like put yourself out there because I don't really want people to make fun of you. And I was like, yeah, but if there's someone else on that other end of the screen that can relate to me, that they're like, oh my gosh, she's going through it and I can get through that too. That's why I'm going to be vulnerable. I don't really care what someone has to say, because if there's 100, if there's 100 negative comments and there's one that was, you helped me through this, then all of those mean comments go away. You know what I mean? To get one person that can relate and feel comforted, I'll take the hate every day.
Well, isn't it the saying like hurt people
100%
too? So like those people that are being mean for whatever reason online, usually they're not like healthy, mentally well adjusted, like successful people. Like they're hurt in their own way, and so they're like lashing out and they just don't know how. So that's how I look at it now, and it's just made it so much easier to just like navigate through and be like, oh, there's another traumatized person that hasn't figured it out yet, hasn't found their peace. Like they don't have it yet because there's no reason. They don't know me personally, they haven't met me, like, and they just want to be negative in a comment for what or why. What's the deeper what's the root cause? Yeah, because they're obviously probably usually dealing with something or not dealing with something,
or they haven't been through anything and they're just a hateful person, you know?
Right. But there's that too.
Every time I see a negative comment, I just feel bad for them. I'm like, you have to like be so.
I lead with empathy.
Exactly. I genuinely like, I'm like, wow, I feel so bad for you because you're behind a screen. You're probably not happy with yourself. And then you're spilling hate on, what am I doing? Am I hating? I'm just trying to like be someone that like is just trying to like spread positivity through a bad situation. People are like, oh my God. I'm like, what? Like, what?
Doesn't even make any sense.
No.
I think there's a lot of fake accounts out there too. Have you ever thought about that? I think there's a lot of like bots. Like, I think like, I don't know who, like, I don't know, like what would it, like Russia, China? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that are just like, there's a lot of like bots that just accounts just to make us feel more divided and more hate. Like there's a lot of hate in this country. And I'm not saying there's no division. Clearly there is. But I think that there is someone pulling some strings behind the curtain of it all. Some, Wizard of Oz, like making us think that things are much worse than they are. When I think most people, even if you're like, far on the left or far on the right, if they really sat in a room together and just tried to like have a meal without their phones and just like connect as humans, they'd probably find more in common than not, because like genuinely I think people are good, and so like you may lean this way because you're trying to be a good person, you may lean that way because you're trying to be a good person, and there's obviously the pieces of shit in the middle, but point in case is like most people, if just human to human, are gonna find something that they're like they have common ground, and I think we just seem so divided.
We are, that's the sad part.
But I think there's a lot of fake narrative to the division too. Like I think there's probably accounts that literally they just go around to like, they're not real. I don't think they're real. I think there's bots.
Or they're just people that hate you that make separate accounts so that it's not their name behind it. You know what I mean? Because I've gotten comments where I'm like, what the heck? Like, why would you even
see like those people though? Like you go and look and they don't seem real. Like I don't know if you've ever like looked in those accounts and it's like they have
follower.
No photos. Like, so what is that?
But that's what I'm saying. It would be like me making a different account to like, then shit on you.
Yeah, it could be.
But like, why? Who has the time to do that? Clearly, these people that are on.
I don't know, but either there's like fake like algorithm driven bots that like have a like a design like to them to like go out
that
and just
crazy.
Hateful.
Now you got me like actually thinking.
I actually really think this is a thing. I think that there are like bot accounts that are created just to be hateful. because you take down a country when it's divided, right? You take down anything powerful when it's divided. And so maybe
Oh my gosh.
which is, I mean, it's kind of wild. I mean,
hey,
but I don't think it's that far fetched.
I do not, honestly, I don't doubt
Where's
anything
my
now.
tinfoil hat?
Right.
Give it to me. I'll wear it for the rest of the podcast.
I don't doubt anything now. I swear. I'm not even kidding. Like, it's all possible. That makes sense, actually. Now you have me.
There are, because some of it doesn't make sense.
I'll be in a rabbit hole later about.
Make sense. It's like, could that make sense? And like, I think
no, definitely.
Okay, how did you get into skating?
Oh my gosh, this is talk about hurt people. I was in the surf team in high school, and this kid that always used to make fun of me was skating down this path. And actually, before that, my parents, they do graphic design, so they make banners and stickers for surf companies, skate companies. So I got gifted a skateboard a long time ago, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, thank you. So I would just like kind of skate it outside the street, but I never got into it.
Like a skateboard or a longboard?
Yeah, skateboard. Like it was a World Industry skateboard. It was, the people that know skateboarding would know it. So wet willy board. I loved it.
Clearly not me. So
yeah, I'm like, you're like, cool.
Elaborate as much as you
just
like.
Honestly, just
a normal
skateboard,
okay.
Not a longboard, just a normal skateboard.
I've longboarded a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
like we're gonna take you this. I think your new avenue is gonna be skating.
Gosh. Okay, well,
why not try
we'll
it?
See, what you might have to put a little more positive energy out there for to make that one happen.
We'll try.
But you might get me on some wheel, but maybe a long.
I think it'll be fun, honestly.
With a very gradual incline or decline or just something I don't have to work too hard because I don't want
to. Sure, you're safe.
Yeah, I don't
want to. You're safe. We'll make sure you
break a hip.
Yeah, no. No, I'll help you. Okay. But yeah, no, I got like a skateboard given to one of my mom's like customers, and he's like, yeah, you should skate this. And I always remember being like, I'm gonna skate this one day, and I'm gonna like love doing it. So I was probably like 6, like super young.
You were young, like very kids are 7 and 5, so you were young.
But I never got on it. Like I never skated in a park until I was going down. I was in high school. I was on the surf team. Surfing this break trestles. It's like a mile walk down to the beach in the morning, 5 in the morning. It's like pitch black, freezing outside. But we were walking and a lot of people skated down it. But this one kid that used to make fun of me was skating down it, and there's a sharp right turn at the bottom that he did not see. And I remember he had made fun of me so bad, and I don't wish hate or harm on anybody.
Wait, why? Why does he just...
He was so rude, and I think clearly just jealous of me.
Was he one of those boys that was like... had a crush on you, kind of rude, or like
he was just actually just an asshole.
Okay, so was
I tried to figure him out for 4 years
because you were a good surfer, like you were surfing, like you're female.
Probably,
yeah.
I think it was like had to do with a female in sport and like screw you because you're the
I
same. You're like the same, yeah. Like
I wrestled in high school on a guys' team.
Exactly,
so
you would probably beat them, and they hated you for that.
There's a few of them.
But that was like
just me existing on the team. I didn't even have to beat them. Just sometimes like the fact that I had a vagina and I existed on a wrestling.
Screw you.
Like
screw you. Yeah, not cool. I think it's because we're also just like good people and people can feel that and they're probably just drawn to us. But
they think kindness is weakness, right? Ooh. That kind of person.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, he just made fun of me for no reason. It would be about anything. Like, oh, I'd be like, dude, and I wouldn't even. I would just be like, cool, buddy. Good one. Nice. He looked like an idiot, but he was skating. Like he was. Skating.
What does this guy look like?
I'll show you after.
Okay.
He's like blonde. Just not even worth talking about.
Okay,
kid's probably in jail now, but.
Okay.
Yeah. But literally like skating down, sharp right turn. He completely missed that turn and flew down a hill. And I was like, I'm going to skate better than him. I literally used that as my motivation. The same day I got out of high school, I went to the skate park. With that board that I got when I was 6, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, no idea at all. And I just started skating around and I would I'm a visual learner. So I'd like watch people skate, do that like right after they would do it. My knees... I had no knee pads. I didn't have money for anything. But like my knees and my elbows were so bruised all the time. But every time I would fall, I would learn how to like not fall again. But then it was just figuring out so many different things. I was like very self-taught. Like I didn't have anybody around me that skated. Really no friends that surfed besides the people on the surf team. But everything I've done was self-taught. I didn't know how to surf. I just bought a board and started learning. But yeah, skating, I was just visually learning how to not eat shit. And then figured it out like that. And then I would just be around the skate culture. I keep hitting this thing. I'm so sorry.
I'm going to move it. Or
No. I think I'm good. Talking with my hands. Middle Eastern. But yeah, just being around the skate culture inspired me to just want to be better because I fell in love with it. And then also I was like, I want to be better than him. But she wasn't even good. So
that must not have been hard.
It wasn't that hard.
Okay, wait. I gotta go back to like him flying in this corner. Did you like walk by him then? Like where was he? What happened?
So
I was still like
Like, it was so bad. So I was walking, and it's literally a hill that goes down. Okay. Like, it's not like, like, it's a hill. Imagine he has his board bag, like a surfboard,
Okay.
and he's on a skateboard. He turns around the corner, completely misses the turn, hits a curb, flies down this hill. Like, that was like my, like, that was his karma.
That what he brought that on himself.
He did. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for you, but are you okay? But like, you deserve that.
Yeah.
But I saw that and I was like, oh, I'm so going to learn how to skate. So I could just say that I'm better at like that and that on you.
Did you ever get the chance to do that? Do you think he knows? Do you think he...
No, not at all.
You don't think he does?
No, I don't think he knows at all.
But does he know that
every guy on this...
now, like...
I have no idea. I don't know anything about this kid anymore.
Good for you.
Listen,
I
in
bet
high
he does.
school...
I'm gonna make it up in my mind that he knows, and then he's still sour.
Probably.
Hopefully he's healed from his trauma, actually. You know what? Let's
Probably
wish
not.
good on him.
We're gonna wish good, but
we're gonna
also
wish good on
not.
him, but
it's funny.
But it's also okay if he's slightly mad that you're way better skater than him.
It is what it is, but he doesn't even skate. He didn't even skate. That's the thing.
Right.
I just saw him eat shit on a skateboard, and I was like, I'm gonna do that better than he. Like, why? No idea. He just was so annoying all the time that I was like, I don't like that.
That was how you won without being a terrible person.
I agree, because I'm not gonna do anything to him, but I was like, I'll show you in other ways.
That was your self-growth victory.
100%. But it's funny because in middle school, and I always relate this back to the attack. In middle school, I was super bullied for being a good athlete, for trying hard in PE. Because you know when you run the mile in high school and everyone's like, oh my God, you're actually trying and you're making us all look bad. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to try. So I would run the mile like normal. And I got made fun of for everything. Like literally everything. Like
were you
so
still
bad.
happy? Like were
I
you
was
a pretty like happy, cheery person?
I never changed. Like genuinely, I don't think I've ever changed. I just was like, ew, why are you being so hated? Like, what am I doing to you? Like, and that's still the same question I have. Like, what am I actually doing that's pissing you off so bad? Like, it doesn't make any sense. But
people just want to bring you down to their level. They don't like it sometimes when you're up there and you got this good vibration, and they don't know how to get on that level. So they're like, "Can you stop it?
I don't know.
You stop being such a bright light in this room in my life. Like you're annoying me. I just want to."
Every work zone I've ever had too. It's the same thing. They're like, you're always so happy all the time. It's like really draining. I'm like, it's happy to be around me. Like I'm draining you. You're draining. Like, what do you mean? Like, so yeah, I just was always really made fun of. And then in high school, I was always made fun of. And then I got really good at sports, and then people really respected me. And then kind of they're like, oh wow, okay. Then I got into the attack, and then people still made fun of me. But I swear to God, because of how much I got bullied growing up, it like prepared me for the bullying that was going to happen after the attack. Which doesn't make any sense at all. But I feel like I was set up for like...
I think it makes perfect sense.
To not care. You know what I mean?
So good.
Yeah.
Because I think that all the hardness that can be in life, like all the hardships and all the... just the nonsense, the bullshit. It seems like nonsense, seems like bullshit. But it is foundationally important, I think, to shape who we are. If
100%.
Things are too easy, if we avoid everything, then we just don't have a chance to really become resilient. I think we rob our children of that if we try to avoid everything. It's great, like these anti-bullying campaigns and all. It's great because obviously we don't want to promote bullying, but I think that those children who are bullies probably need like deeper help. I think it would be instead of like anti-bullying, maybe like we go to the bullies and we try to actually help them.
Yeah, because there's a lot more
cause. Yeah, they're not just usually like the bad kids or bad guys. Like usually some shit's going on in their life, like
in the family, or you're seeing the parents.
You're
doing
seeing what's happening.
They're
in
learning
their
from
household.
somewhere. Exactly. That's actually a good reason, because like a lot of the people that I had known that were really, really bullies to me, they were so unhappy in their life because no one paid attention to them in their home life.
They didn't even know like.
Exactly. So they just spread hate because that's what they feel for themselves because of their
then it's more irritating when you come along with your parents who love you and you're happy and go lucky, but they don't have that. So they hate the part of you that isn't alive in them.
Yeah. I will also say though, like the difference between like my family and the people that I grew up around in Orange County, like everybody had money except for my family. Like my parents, I've seen struggle so much. Like I see such hard work that my parents do, but there's a lot of struggle that came with it. A lot. And I was able to learn like this is what I need to do for myself to be successful, to have a good life, because I don't want to have to like have my family worry about me. And like, I just saw that where everyone in my high school, first car, Corvettes, Lamborghinis, disgusting money. I was driving like a beat up Nissan Armada from 2005. That was like,
that's so.
But I loved it. Exactly.
You
because
appreciated it.
And I walked to school. Yeah. And I did appreciate everything. But growing up in the community where there was a lot of money, everything was handed to them, but they were so unhappy with themselves. So unhappy.
Money fixes nothing.
Nothing. It creates more problems. That's exactly right. Like, it really does.
Yeah, and especially if it's in substitute for the things that really mean, which is like the strong bond. Like parental bond, like with your children need to be able to bond with you, or as a child you need to be able to bond with your parents,
right?
Or at least someone in that role. And if you don't have that, then you're missing the most important things in life.
Yeah, the main reason.
Main things. A lot of people
family and community is like everything.
Yeah, like sometimes people think if they just put a roof over their kids'
it's not enough.
Provide, whatever the kids want, that it's great, but it's not enough.
Emotional support and love goes like way beyond anything that something could buy.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. Your parents sound like really cool people.
They're so cool. I love them. Yeah, they're cool. We've gone through some stuff though, like
of course.
It's the last 5 years have been so crazy, and I honestly cannot thank them enough for like being the strong people that they were during that time, because they were totally my like emotional support humans for everything that I was going through, and they just had like such. I would just tell them, I'm like, do not treat me like I'm different right now, because I want to like be strong for myself, and I want you guys to be strong for me.
You mean after the attack?
100% after the attack, yeah. Like I remember I basically how my parents found out that this like all happened. I was with my cousin. I got attacked from her dog. I then like took a picture of half of my face and I sent it to my 2 best friends. And I was like, I didn't say anything. And I'm very sarcastic. So they're like, oh, FX makeup. Like, why do you have that on you? What is that? Then when I didn't respond, they were like, hey, are you okay? And then I still didn't respond because I was in the hospital. That's when they went to my parents' house and they like figured out that it was a little bit deeper than that. And then, yeah, that's when everything happened. But I remember calling my mom and I was like, look, if you guys are coming out here, don't be sad around me. Like, I know what I'm going through is going to be a journey and it's going to be hard. Please don't show your emotional sadness in front of me, because I already know what I'm going through is tough. And then they were like, all right. So on that 6-hour car ride, the whole thing that they did was just, they didn't talk to each other and they just cried. And then they got it out so that when they were here for me, they're like, yeah, you're good. What's up? How are you? And I remember I looked at them and I was like, sick. Like, okay, cool.
I love that.
Because I needed that.
You set the expectation.
I did. I
know how to support you.
100%. I was like, I do not want you to be sad around me. I had the nurses in the room that were helping me crying. Like, you shouldn't be going through this. I'm like, don't tell me that while I'm going through it. I know that. But like, I wanted someone, like I said, that's why I started posting. That was like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay right now because look at you.
But it's a season.
But it will be. Exactly. And in that moment, I was like telling my parents, I was like, guys, do not show that you're sad around me, please, because I know. And then they were like, hey, how's it going? What'd you eat? Like, it was super normal. And then I remember, my dad giving me good advice when I was going through like a lot of the things with the surgeons, and just a wise man, honestly.
I think it's a good point now to jump into it. So let's get the whole backstory, where you were at, how you ended up with the dog, your cousin's house, all like give us the spiel.
All right. So 2020, cheap flights. There was like $20 flights.
I remember that.
Yeah. Super, super cheap. My cousin hit me up and she's like, hey, what are you doing this week? If you're bored, you want to come out to Arizona? And I literally had nothing going on. I was like, I would love to come. So I went to Arizona. I had met this dog plenty of times before. This dog was in Chicago with them, came to Arizona with them, had met the dog so many times, which I think is really important because a lot of people online are like, well, you're going up to a random dog and this, that. But yeah, no, I'd known the dog.
And the dog was always friendly.
To my knowledge, yeah.
Yeah.
The breed.
Like to you, your interactions with the dog prior.
100%. Always friendly.
Yeah. You're like an animal person.
I love animals.
Like I was just talking about, I'm fostering a litter of 8 puppies and a mommy. And you're like, I love dogs. I'm like, that's so beautiful coming from you because you also didn't let it change, that one experience.
That's the worst misconception. Everyone's like, oh, so you hate dogs. I'm like, I literally love them. Every dog I see on the street, I stop and pet. Like, I still love dogs. I'm more cautious around bigger dogs or maybe that specific breed. But even then, I have plenty of dogs that have that breed that I'm super like involved with that I still love. So it just happened to be that dog. He happened to snap. I was in a kitchen basically with my cousin. Fast forward, I did go to her house, and it was funny because there was a nutrition shop that we went to, and in that nutrition shop, the lady looked at me and she's like, "How's it going?" And we were talking about how personable we are with people. We like talking to people. So I was like, how's it going? How are you? She's like, I'm good. She's like, looked at me and she's like, I just want you to know that like, whatever you're going to go through, you're going to remain positive. I was like, thank you so much. Like, I love that. Thank you for saying that. 2 minutes later, I was down one of the aisles and she's like, hey, did you remember what I said? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, do you remember what I told you? And I was like, yeah, of course. She's like, you're going to remain positive through everything. I was like, okay, thank you. And I was like, why does she keep saying this to me? Like, I was like, okay, cute. Like, love the inspirational, like, pep talk. But it was almost creeping me out because, like, what does she know? You know what I mean?
Right.
That was my head. She said it again when I checked out. She's like, you're going to be positive. Literally, I got in the car. I had a zit on my upper lip I was insecure about. I sent a picture to my friend, and I cropped out my lip. I cropped out the zit on my lip because I was insecure about a blemish. Okay?
Okay.
15 minutes later, I had no lip. So that just goes to show you, like, you're so insecure about things right now that you can't control that are going to go away. That then I was in a situation where it was completely gone. So I keep backtracking, I'm sorry, or jumping forward, but got in the car. We went to her house. I was in the kitchen. We were waiting for my cousin to get off work because we wanted to go have lunch. It was like an L-shaped kitchen, center island in the middle.
Okay.
So I was in the corner, and I was standing up. He was completely sitting down. Pet his head. I was like, hi, buddy. I turned around and looked at my cousin. I looked back. He sprung off the ground and was hanging from my upper lip, full body. He's like 110 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
So like
a huge dog.
Yeah, 4 legs completely off the ground. And like your fight or flight is like, it like kicks in so quick when you're in that type of situation. So I just grabbed his head and I just held it, and I was just going wherever he went. So
you kind of like went back to down, like you went.
I went like sumo wrestling position.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was attached. Like he would not let me go. So
was
like
he thrashing?
he was like hanging, and then I was like, oh my God, my face. Like, so then I went down like this, and I was holding his head, and he went like a tug of war. Like he basically shook my head like this, like, and the whole thing was like a good 60 seconds. So shaking my head, then he was tug of warring with my face, like going back and forth. And I remember there was a split second where I'd like opened my eyes, and it was just all teeth, and that's all I saw. And I was like, okay, he has me in his mouth. Like, what am I supposed to do? And I didn't want to do anything that was going to piss him off more. So I just literally held on to him, shook me, tug of war, shook me again. And then there was a split second where I felt like he was coming off. So I pushed him. As soon as I pushed him, something flung and hit the wall and then fell down. But in my head, I have such high pain tolerance that I didn't know what the hell that was, to be honest. I was just like, oh my God, he like, that was crazy. And I didn't make a sound because I didn't think that it was bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I was just like, had him. So then something flung, hit the ground, and then I stood up. I remember once I stood up, I was like, wow, that was crazy. And then I was like, God, that's like the crispiest breath of fresh air that I've ever taken in my entire life. Like it felt like someone shoved dry ice up my nose. It was so crispy and fresh. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could breathe so good. And then 2 seconds later, I was like, okay, that's all blood. And I just looked down, and it was all blood. Just
tilt it like,
yeah, I'm gonna
like
move it like that.
Like that.
All right. I like looked down, and it was just all blood on my shirt. And I was like, okay, what the heck? Like, what is actually going on? And have you ever watched Stranger Things?
No. Well, maybe.
There's like an animal on it, and that's
Okay.
exactly how the dog sounded. Like right after he attacked me, he went crazy. I think probably because he tasted blood. A lot of people say that, but he was like making the craziest sounds after he had bit me. And my cousin was scared. She was like, "Oh my God, oh my God!"
Like a growling.
He was like weird. Like it sounded like a I don't even know. It just sounded really creepy.
Okay.
It wasn't like a normal growl, like a grr. Also, really like in that moment, I had been like, why did he attack me? Is there a dog bowl? Is there toys? Like what was around me that made him be aggressive towards me? There was nothing. So it was just a freak thing. It was a snap that just happened to happen. But yeah, after that, she had taken the dog, put him in the laundry room. She was scared. She's like, and the dog was just hitting the door, like making these sounds. I was like, she's like, he's going to attack you again. Like, we need to get him in the other room, put him in the other room. And like, at that point, I was bending over the sink, just bleeding out. Like, I was like watching so much blood coming from my face. And I was like getting so lightheaded. And I was like, if I faint right now, because my cousin was not reacting good. Everyone reacts to trauma differently. But I was like, if I faint right now, I'm going to die on this floor. That's what I told myself because I was losing so much blood. I was like, all right. I like got that second wind of like, I'm okay. Went to the bathroom to look at what I looked like, and I grabbed on the sink and I looked up and I was like, oh my God, like straight skeleton. Like this was the only thing that was here. And then everything from here down was completely ripped off.
So like even the bottom of your nose.
Bottom ripped up my nose. So literally like you can feel it. It's literally right here is a break. And then everything from here down completely torn off. So you could just see like a skeleton straight up into my nose. Like you saw those round things from my nose. He'd taken out and ripped out all the cartilage from underneath. And as soon as I saw myself, I was like, dang, that's crazy. This is serious.
This is more serious than
I thought he just punctured it, honestly, to be honest. So Once I realized that, it took us like
thing that hit the wall was
my lip.
the rest of
Yeah,
your face.
literally. And it's like I said, that one blemish that I had to then going 15 minutes later and it not even being there shifted my mentality of how we let such small things bug us all the time. I think like a lot of people get so sad with aging and like growing up and getting older, but I'm like, those are all such beautiful things because it's like you're enjoying and you're growing in life. And I don't know, for me, I guess having that like little blemish and being insecure about it. So then 15 minutes later, not having a lip at all. I'm like, life is so crazy. Like,
talk about perspective.
My shift in perspective and how I view life was already good, but then got better. I was like, oh my God, that's crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you said that your cousin wasn't reacting well, what do you mean by that?
She doesn't like blood, was very worried about, I think, herself in that moment. I was like, I need to go to the hospital. And you need to call 911. She's like, we're not calling the hospital. I need to call other people. She was doing she was not really like reacting. Like I was like literally bleeding out and she was worried about how other people were going to react when they found out instead of helping me in that
Do you
moment.
think was she worried about her dog, you think?
I think she was,
or just like,
I think she was worried that something was going to come out of it. Like I was going to sue her or something, which I never did. But I think she was worried about like that instead of just helping me. I was like, girl, I need to go to the hospital. Like she's like, no, blah, blah. I was like, all right, I need to do it then. If you're not going to take me to the hospital, give me your keys. This is what I told her. I was like, you either need to like help me in this moment. I'm going to call 911 or give me your keys so I could take myself to the hospital. The hospital was 11 minutes away and we went an hour later. So like my lip was off ice for an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
A whole hour.
So like we should have put it on ice right away.
Like, was she like not available like in other rooms or like was like on the like calling people? Like
she was calling people, walking out of the. I don't know. I don't even.
Okay, yeah, because I mean you're obviously
I was literally
like
like
things to worry about at that moment.
Yeah.
But still, like I'm just wondering like in her thought process. And again, I'm not trying to like I'm just trying to understand.
I don't think I've been thinking about it for the last 5 years and it still doesn't make sense. And like I've given her the benefit of the doubt by just saying like people react to trauma differently. And I've learned that. I'm sure you've had that in your life too, where traumatic things have happened and people either fight and get better and learn from it and become a better person, or they let it, really tear them down.
Yeah.
With anything in life, mentally, physically, whatever, a loss of someone. But I think the way that people react to situations genuinely shows so much character. Like being worried about herself in that moment versus being worried about someone that's literally bleeding out in her apartment. Like I would have helped someone that was bleeding out.
Yeah.
She was worried about herself. Totally fine. Just give her the benefit of the doubt that people just react to shit differently. And I can try to replay everything and make it make sense, but nothing about that day made sense. But,
So the breed of dog, I've heard you talk about this before, is a pit bull.
Yeah.
And I know that people are very like touchy, sensitive about.
Yeah.
I've heard you've gotten a lot
of breed,
a backlash. Which again, if you're, please, anybody logical listening to this, there's no hate or animosity towards a breed. It's just what it was.
If it was a Chihuahua, I would have said a Chihuahua. If it was a Schnauzer, I would have said, you know what I mean? Like the breed of dog doesn't matter. However, the bite size matters is what I've learned. Like if a Chihuahua bites you, it's drawing blood.
Right.
If that dog bites you, way better jaw force or way stronger jaw force. And unfortunately, those dogs are known to have more attacks. Statistically.
Well, and their attacks really matter.
They do because they are really strong little shits. So yeah. And like I said, like I have no animosity towards the dog breed at all. Just happened to be a pit bull that had attacked me. So I can't say that enough, but I feel like people don't care.
Was the dog a rescue or
no? They were a fully trained dog for 8 years. So in a loving family, fully trained since a puppy. I think it was like 8 weeks, whatever. It was like literally a baby, like this big. So that's also another thing that like people are like, oh, it was probably a rescue, and
I've wondered.
Nope. Yeah, fully, only that family. And it was like very, very trained, very well trained dog. So.
That's so, it just puts things in perspective for me because I always like to think that there's something that can like tell you, about dogs that they don't, how's their body movement, this and that. But like
body language.
Right. Like, and maybe in that moment when you went to pet him that one time, maybe he was stiff, but because you had already been around him so many times, like it doesn't make sense, like why you would need to be aware, like,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like
he was always wagging his tail and like looked happy. So like it was nothing that I've been around dogs where I'm like, oh shit, you look a little bit like pissed off right now. Like, let's not go by you.
Yeah.
You can feel a body language or like their type of demeanor that they have. He was always happy. And I'd been around him, like I said, so it wasn't like he was being like ears back, tail was under his butt. Like, it was none of that. So that's where I'm like, I've replayed everything in my head to make it make sense. Cause I'm like, no, I want you guys to be right. Like, I want to be doing something because it had made sense. Like, people, there's so many things online about me having a dog treat in my mouth. I'm like, why the hell would I even have a dog treat in my mouth? Like, it was just too simple of something that happened for the outcome. You know what I mean?
And supposedly this dog hadn't been aggressive to anyone else. Or
that I've known of. No.
You knew.
Yeah, at all. So, freak accident, sure. Do I wish it never happened? No. I'm happy that it happened because I've learned so much about myself and about the people around me and the strength that I've had as a human that I'm proud of. And being able to, like I've talked about earlier, like being able to help other people feel less alone in whatever they're going through, mentally, physically, whatever it is. I know that it had to happen to me. Not had to happen to me. That sounds crazy. If it had to happen to anyone, I'm happy it happened to me so that I can hopefully help other people going through things. Because, I mean, like, why else?
What else?
I guess.
Yeah, let's get to find the positive in it. What happened to the dog?
He, as I was in the hospital, when I had gotten to the hospital and got like kind of checked in. By the way, crazy because I had to check in outside because it was COVID. So they were like checking me in outside. I remember I had a rag over my head. They're like, or my face. They're like, all right, what are you here for? And I was like, they're like, oh my God, okay, get her in. Go to another desk to get checked in. And this was the first time that I noticed my upper lip, the way that you pronounce stuff, everything was completely gone. They thought my name was Brooklyn with a V. Because like if you hold your upper lip, I couldn't
think about that. Like try to say B without your upper lip.
You can't. Like I literally go to the desk and like, what's your first name? And I was like, Brooklyn. They're like, Brooklyn, Vrooklin. And I was like, no, Brooklyn. And I had to be like, Brooklyn. They're like, okay, like what are you here for? And I would go like this. Automatically, someone takes me back. They're asking me to give me morphine, all these painkillers. And I was like, absolutely not. I'm super against drugs, especially in like hospitals and stuff, because that's a whole nother subject. But I feel like they really just like want you to get on them. So I had aspirin, all my surgeries.
Well, you were by yourself. So, I mean, you probably wanted to make sure you were like.
But even then, like
sound mind or like awake, coherent.
Exactly. Like, yeah. And like I said, like I have a really high pain tolerance. So I was not in pain at all. I was very aware of the situation. The guy's like, he's like, no, you're in shock. I was like, no, you're in shock. I'm actually completely fine. And if I need something, I'll let you know. I remember saying that to him. I was like very level headed. And I was like, do not tell me what I need. I'm good, dude. Like, and you have to be your own advocate, especially in hospitals. Like, they just be shooting you with shit and you don't even know. So I got in there and they're like, give her morphine. She needs this. And I was like, no, I'm good.
Have you ever heard of women going into surgery and like, that like they can do a pelvic exam? Like, did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Like women, oh gosh, now you've been in surgery a couple times.
Oh
but your surgeon's great though. I'm sure I've heard a little bit about him. But anyways, but yeah, that can just like happen. Like that when you go under, like they can do a pelvic exam for like the student, if there's like students or whatever.
They definitely probably have done that though, because I wasn't a student teaching thing. I was so screwed up after I got out of some of the surgeries. Probably.
That's like
my shit was always wild. I mean, my first surgery that I went into, this was like a year later, but it took me so long to find a surgeon. I love the surgeon that I have. He's amazing, but
you don't have to consent to it either. It's just like in the paperwork.
That's crazy.
That you just normally sign, that nobody reads like, 90 pages of like.
I wouldn't have.
You wouldn't
too much.
Think that would...
I mean, listen, you're under there. You're free. You're a body, like an experiment at that point.
Crazy, right?
Dang, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, they probably did some shit to me.
Oh my gosh. I hope not.
Who knows though?
Okay. Well,
hey,
it's
anything can
happen. You don't have to know about it. So.
Honestly, ignorance is bliss at this point. But yeah, like I don't know. Going to the hospital, they were all like super in shock. And from my first, when they just kind of sewed up the surgery, I remember I came off it. Only thing I had was anesthesia. That was my request. And then I had what is it called? Aspirin, just for swelling, and rabies shot, just to make sure that I didn't have that. But yeah, the first surgery, I remember I went into the hospital and then I had to get transferred to another one. So I was in the hospital for 6 hours and I got transferred because the guy had to drive down because it was his only day off, and I felt so bad, but he had to drive down to do my surgery. But he basically just sewed me up and my nose was completely down, shut, couldn't breathe at all. And that was supposed to be a temporary surgery because I was supposed to have another surgery. They were like, oh, you'll have surgery in 2 weeks. You'll find a surgeon. Everything will be good. Took me a year to find a surgeon. So I could not breathe out of my nose for a year. So I was like a little mouth breather. And like just that part of that too. I like got out of the first surgery and the nurse was like, hey, like I think you've had a long day. Like I don't want you to kind of look at what you look like. I'm like, why? She's like, you've gone through enough in like a day. I just don't think you should look at yourself. Like give it a day, wait for your family to come. It could be like a lot. I'm like, girl, give me a mirror. I was like, what do you mean I'm not gonna look at what I look like? Like I remember I took the gauze off and I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. Like I look insane. Because it had gone from I had a lip to no lip to them sewing everything completely down. And I looked like I could show you pictures. I'm sure you can.
I've seen them.
Yeah, like
I know.
it looked crazy.
Your nose was like buckled down.
It was buckled down
everything
completely.
was just kind of like like sewn
up. Like I had scars like all the way up here of just pulled back skin.
And it was like all your teeth and gums were completely up.
Yeah,
was exposed
completely. So like, and your gums have to stay moist. That's the only way that your teeth stay in. So I was like Vaseline in my mouth all the time. Like it was a lot. It was a lot. But yeah, learned a lot about the medical industry and how crazy it is, and I have to get referred.
On that. We want to get on that rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's for another.
That's for another podcast.
I'll come back for another part two. But yeah, it took me a year to find a surgeon, and I love him. He's a great guy. It really felt like we were working together instead of like his way or the highway, which was a lot of the doctors I had talked to were like, we're not doing that. This is what I'm going to do to you. And I was like, hell no, you're not. So when I met my surgeon, the only like way I could tell the difference was he was sitting down with me. What do you want? How do you like? Really made me feel comfortable about everything when I felt so uncomfortable. So he's the best. And I always say like I would go through all of this again to like for him to get the recognition because he deserves it. Like this guy is.
What's his name?
His name's Dr. Doe. Nicholas Doe. Yeah, he's gonna have his own practice now. Like I'm just really proud of him. Like he's like I'm his hype man. Like he brought back my smiles. Like he
deserves it.
He deserves it. He's the nicest, most calm.
And I think I've heard you say like a lot of surgeons were not willing to.
Horrible.
Or they just didn't want to, or like why do you think they didn't want to? Like were you like a liability, or they didn't want to like be a part of like what you might look like in the end, like not confident in their skills? Maybe. Or like
maybe I talked to like 150 doctors. So
150?
Yeah, around the world. My case got like spread out to everyone, so they were like email chain like help this girl basically. And I think a lot of the times the doctors that I had talked to were, I mean, I had one surgeon and he was the most insensitive person I've ever talked to in my entire life. He was, oh yeah, I graduated Harvard, top of my class. And I just got to the point where I was like, I don't really care where you graduated from. Let me see your work. He was showing me his work. He was looking through his little portfolio that he put together, and he like starts laughing. He's, oh my gosh, you can totally relate to this girl. She had mouth cancer, different situation, but her whole upper lip was gone. I was like, oh my God, I can find someone I can finally relate to. So it was like my like, yes moment, like I can relate to somebody. He starts laughing. I'm like, why are you laughing? He's like, she actually committed suicide. The cancer came back, so I actually can't show you. She's dead. Laughing. I'm like, I look at my mom and I'm like, we're leaving. I got up and we were in a Zoom call. We left the chat. I was like, that's horrible. And a lot of the times, like my mom and I would be sitting next to each other. There were a lot of the times on Zoom. And I just remember being so let down so many times, and I had no faith I had no confidence in any of the surgeons that I was talking to, because it was just a time for them to boast or where they went to school. They wouldn't show me any work, or if they did, it was just not cool. I had two doctors that they actually do face transplants. I was like, if I was your daughter, what would you recommend? Because they said you can get a face transplant, but you're going to die in 5 years, because basically you have to take handfuls of pills every day. And that pill kills your liver. This one kills your kidney. So you'd basically be having to take pills a day for anti-rejection, but then the rest of the pills kill your insides. So I'd be killing myself from the inside out. And he's like, if you were like 85 and you had 5 years.
Talking about like a whole face transplant, like from someone else?
It wouldn't be a whole face. It would literally be like somebody dying and then them taking their lip and putting it on me. Same age bracket.
And they said that from that you would die in 5 years?
Because the medication that you have to take, because it's somebody else's body, your body rejects it. So you have to take.
Is that the same thing for like lung transplants and things like that?
I don't know. I know that you have to take like lung medication for that. Yet again, this is just what the doctor was very vaguely telling me. But he gave me the advice. He's like, I don't want you to do that. He's like, if you were my daughter, because a lot of the times I'm like, if I was your daughter, what would you recommend? Because you're just treating me like a human who you don't know. That's fair. But have compassion, because I need it and I don't know what I'm doing. How would you react? He's like, don't do that. Get somewhere else. Like another doctor will be able to help you. He's like, learn about your face and all the muscles so that you can outthink and like smart the doctor, basically. He's like, that's how you can tell if a doctor knows what they're talking about. So I learned all the face muscles, how the face works, everything that I would have to get done, so that I could sit there and be like, oh, you mean this? And they'd be like, Yeah. To prove that, like, you have to be your own advocate at the end of the day. And a lot of the times doctors think they're smarter than everybody. So
They think
I had to,
they're
like, be on the
gods
little,
on earth.
oh,
A
Lord.
lot of
Yeah.
them do.
My surgeon is the most, like, dude, I'm just a human helping people out. And that's what I loved about him. Like, I know if you needed anything, he's a trauma surgeon. He's the best. Like, you would just love him. He's such a good guy. Like I said, like, I would do it all again if it meant, like, he got to where he is now because he's the best. He's already going to be there.
Did you bring your lip with you to the hospital?
ER?
So like
Yeah.
did you go? I'm imagining because
Yeah.
you didn't have a whole lot of other help, but you go and like find your lip that had fell and slid down the wall. You literally picked it up.
I had it on a napkin because we were going to the hospital at that point, and then I got to the hospital and I was like, "Hey, like, this is my lip. Do you mind putting it on ice?" And she's like, I remember the nurse like, "Oh my God, like, yeah, sure." She like had to get gloves on because it literally was just on a napkin.
Was the pimple still on there?
It was, but it was flipped over. And it's so weird. It like wasn't even.
It sounds like such a terrible thing to ask her, but it's
it
like
was, yeah,
kind of like,
you know what was funny? Like, it was literally in a pee jar that you like pee in the surgeon. It was literally in that, and then they just put it in a bag of ice. Like, it looked like a fish you take home.
but you didn't put it on ice.
No, the nurse did.
But it was an hour later.
I know. So
Yeah,
at that point, it had already been like shriveled up and shrunken. So they were like, we can't do anything about it. So they threw that out to the landfill, and my lip's somewhere out there. But
wow,
crazy, right? Yeah, but they did put it on ice. It just had been like too long off of ice. So my surgeon, the one that I had, he was like, I could have definitely sewn it back on, but everything happens for a reason. Yeah.
So let's see where else we need to pick up some pieces. There are so many questions.
So many questions.
So like I think we walked through that. You get into the ER. You have this amazing nurse, Lily. You said her name? Sorry.
No, what was her name? Oh my God.
No, I just put
Lisa.
the name in your head.
Lisa.
No, okay. Lisa.
Lily, Lisa, same thing.
Yeah, I get starts with an L.
L's, yeah, you were there.
So,
Close.
so she's great. So why didn't you send a picture to your mom and dad, or like why didn't you contact them? You were alone.
So my cousin took my phone away, to be honest.
What?
She took my phone away. She's like, don't tell anybody that this is going on. And by that point, I had already taken a picture of myself because I wanted to see my reflection, but I didn't actually know that I took that picture. So there's a picture that I have on my Instagram that is the original photo from the attack that actually helped my surgeon because it was able to see where everything was originally from, attack-wise. But yeah, she had taken my phone, and by that point, like I said, like nobody really was in contact with me until I got to the hospital. Till I was like, I need my phone because I'm alone. But yeah, it was an 11-minute drive to the hospital. During that whole time, I didn't have my phone on me. Then my family was obviously with my friends at that point when they were realizing that it had been.
So was your family like trying to contact your cousin? I don't know. You don't know.
I have no idea. I just remember that my mom got the picture. My friends came over. My brother saw the photo, deleted it off her phone.
Went to your parents' house.
Yeah.
You said came over.
And
yeah.
My friends went to my parents and they were like, you need to go to Arizona. Like, this is severe. So then they had that drive. And on that drive, when I'd gotten my phone back, they called me and I was like, look, if you're coming up here is what I said earlier.
They were already on their way.
Yeah, it had been like 2 hours at that point. So
yeah, but no, I mean, but that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's really like your parents are just sweet.
They work from home too, so like they didn't have to call off of work. They were just like, okay, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once they realized how severe it was, I think they were like, all right, there's no choice because I could have flown back and
but without even like
alone.
speaking to you or like having exact confirmation or anything like that.
Yeah, they just headed to Arizona.
Going.
Yeah, they didn't even know where I was. They just literally headed to Arizona. I mean, that's like a one-way direct shot there. But they headed over there. They were talking to my neighbors. My neighbors were like, you have to go. Like, this is crazy. Like, if you're not going to go, we're going to go because she's not okay. And then I think once they got there, like I said, I was like, I just need you guys to be strong. And they were. And then I don't even think in that moment I realized even what I was going through. You know, I don't think any of us was. I think we were all in kind of like a shock.
Yeah.
I was very aware of my surroundings and very aware of everything, but I didn't know it was going to be that long of a journey ahead that I was going to face until I kind of talked to my surgeon. He was like, this is going to be like a 2-year surgical process of you're going to really not like what you look like, but you're going to grow to love what you see based on like after every surgery. And it was like a lot on my mental health, going from having a lip to nothing at all for a year, to having a big bulk on my lip for a year, to then having it shaped down. Like, it was a lot. Like, the transformation was a lot. But yeah, just crazy. A lot of self-love needed to be learned that year. Or the last, couple of years, but like genuinely love where I'm at now because I'm like, I don't know, beauty's just, it's actually like so undefinable. And I think everybody, like I want to change like the definition of beauty because there actually is no definition of beauty. I just think it's, I don't know.
Well, beauty can have depth.
There's so much more than just beauty. Like everyone's
Yeah.
beautiful in their own way.
And I think it gets underclassified a little bit or just overlooked as like, sex appeal. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
like that's, the thing.
Yeah,
Oh, we still operate in a guy's world, So like, think
exactly.
about, it's like, oh, how much sex appeal can you have? That's like how far you can get or what, whatever. But I think there are some men out there, and obviously there are women who are just like, we realize the depth is
So
the
much
beauty is so deep.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Let's see here. Okay, so
So
I don't want to
so
circle back
sorry.
on that. No, you're good. You're good. There's just so many things I want to talk to you about. Do you have a relationship with your cousin now?
I don't really talk to her to be honest. I check in and it's always she's not doing good or whatever. I think there's like a lot of guilt that maybe she feels, and like I said, love giving people the benefit of the doubt. I wish maybe we could have had a relationship, but yeah, no, I don't really communicate with her too much.
Yeah. Was there ever like a reach out on her part to kind of just be
No.
like, hey, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Like it was only me checking in with her when it probably should have been like, I'm sorry. I'm going to just put myself in her shoes. If that was me, I would be like, what can I do for you? How can I help you? And maybe that's the reaction that I wanted that maybe I didn't get from her. And I kind of like was like, yeah, I mean, I think I've been very respectful on my end of the whole situation and how I went about it. I think a lot of other people would have been very hateful and try to do things to destroy her life or not destroy, but like make her feel
at least
hurt how I felt maybe. But
yeah,
I don't know. Life's too short. And like I said, hurt people. I'm not saying that she is, but I just didn't want to be hurt towards her and have animosity or like anger. So I've sat down and talked with her and I was like, whatever you're feeling, like I want you to forgive yourself. I'm not mad at you. Let's move on. Like live your life, be happy. I'm happy. I want you to be happy, So
did she have a reaction to that? Was it like any like?
I think she just feels guilty because it was her dog. You had asked about the dog being put down, and when I was in the hospital, the animal patrol came, kind of didn't give me a choice because of how severe the dog attack was. And I know in different states it's different for the severity of the attack, but yeah, when there's blood drawn in Arizona from a dog, it has to be put down, unfortunately. And I actually gave my cousins the opportunity to keep the dog alive, and they were just really scared because of the severity of the attack that they were afraid it was going to happen to them too. So they decided to put the dog down, which I have guilt too, Like I know the dog did it to me, but like I said before, I do love animals, but I'm like, I have a dog. If I had to put my dog down, I'd be sad too, Yeah, unfortunately they decided to do that. That was on their decision, which I gave them full 100%. They wanted to keep the dog alive, just make sure it doesn't happen to somebody else or yourself. But yeah, state of Arizona told them they have to, unfortunately, put the dog down.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's just one of those situations. I don't know if there was a better solution, unfortunately.
I know. It was, too
huge
severe.
Liability,
100%. 100%
like that. Okay, so how did you get a lip back? Like what actually happened? What transpired? I mean, like, you look great, by the way. I mean, this is like, it's just beautiful to have like seen your transformation. And like, I think I joined earlier on, like around that COVID-ish time, like we were coming out of COVID, maybe so you're probably like maybe a year into your journey was like when I started following you. And like, so I've seen a lot of the progression,
Yeah, you've probably watched the whole thing.
Yeah. And you kind of had like this, like, like a Homer Simpson lip first. Remember when it was like big and bulky? And I was like, wow. But you were so, I remember you talking about wherever part of your body. Your arm,
my inner arm. Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah, my little
like,
scar.
Wow. But you were like, that like there's like hair or whatnot.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay, this is what I love about your transparency and the whole journey. Like it's so cute and relatable in the sense that
like, what else am I supposed to do? Like that is the reality of my situation.
I have hair on my lip anyways, and it's
we all do, really. Mine's just my arm hair is a little different. No, it was funny because I remember one of the surgeons that I talked to, he's like, oh, we'll just take it from your groin. I'm like, I'm Middle Eastern and I'm hairy as fuck. Sorry. I'm so hairy. Like
you'd have to get like laser hair.
No way. Like I've gotten laser and it didn't even work. So no. So like imagine having that hair on your lip. And I was like, yeah, we're not doing that. Like that's not going to happen. So my surgeon then was like, okay, well, the only other area that you could take from that would be thin is the inner part of your arm because it's the similar texture to your face, but because it's super soft and thin. So yeah, he's like, we're going to take this. But my gosh, yeah, I get hair all the time. I take care of it though.
Okay, so he did it. What led him to be confident to do this when like so many other people just wouldn't,
Yeah.
or just like I don't know what the issue was. I don't know if we'll ever know, but like why was he confident to do it?
You know, I think for him, and I'm not going to speak for him because this is just from what I'm seeing from him, but he's a trauma surgeon, and I think he has always, since I met him, always thought outside the box. Where everybody else would go from textbooks and certain things, that lectures that they learned from X, Y, and Z. He was like, all right, let me think outside the box, but also let me refer to other people that have gone through things from like World War I. He was referring back to, like, this guy, he's a genius. He was referring back to gunshot victims, of them having their mouth completely removed and how they were able to do it. And it was all, there's different things. You could do an Abbey flap, which is basically they like flip your forehead down to grow the skin. And then I was like, I don't want another scar here. He's like, no, you're right. He's like, let's think of something different. I'm like, all right. So then we decided to do a graft, skin graft transfer. And then you see this line here.
Yeah. He
took a main artery and a vein from here to then reattach into my neck here to funnel it under my face so I can feel my lip. So I can feel it. So then I have a scar all the way here to take this to then,
the skin.
Cover the skin back. So this arm skin here is from the inside of my arm here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So does your upper lip have this like same or similar sensation of like what it used to feel like?
I don't know. It's funny because I don't even remember what it felt like to have an upper lip because I'd been without it for a year. But I think I love to kiss my girlfriend. If that, I still feel it feels normal. It feels natural. Yes, I don't know. I can't really remember what it felt.
That's a good thing.
It is.
Like,
honestly.
obviously, there's no clear difference there.
Yeah. Or my brain just really doesn't remember, and I just got so used to having this. But yeah, I mean, like I'm able. My upper muscles here are still in contact.
Does Dr. Doe do podcasts?
He should.
I'd actually love to talk to him.
He should.
Really interesting.
This guy is the most like.
He sounds like an amazing critical thinker, like a problem solver, not just someone who's like been told that do this, buy the book, blah blah. But like he was like, I'm gonna take all information and bits and pieces. I'm gonna put it together. I'm gonna create my own solution.
Yeah, and he practiced. I remember he did my surgery on a rat, like tiny.
Whoa!
So like he had done that because he was like, I want to have so much confidence when I'm doing it on you and working with such a bigger, scaled thing rather than a little rat. I mean, this guy, he's insane. Like I would literally have 4-hour conversations with him in person because I loved learning from him. Like he is the most out of the box thinker, like I said, compassionate guy you'll ever meet in your entire life. Changed my thought of doctors because I'm like, you're the one good one out of everyone that I met. And you're going to make a difference because the way that he handles every situation, he cares about the person first. He told me before I even went into any surgeries, he's like, hey, how's your mental health? I was like, I've never had anyone ask me that. How is my mental health?
Refreshing.
Yeah, he was such a breath of fresh air, especially after talking to so many different people that made me feel like a piece of shit, to be honest. Like, I just felt horrible about myself, and he made me feel like I was going to be okay. And that's what I needed. And he's the best. You should talk to him. Like, he's amazing.
Where's he based out of?
He's in Torrance. I think now Beverly Hills.
Okay, so he's a hop and a skip.
Yeah, he's pretty close.
Yeah, see if we can get him out here.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
He would be awesome. He's, like I said, deals with so many different cases. He's a trauma surgeon, so like he'd come in and he'd be like, oh man, I just had to like completely, this guy was completely severed from a car crash and everything was out, and I just had to put him back together. I'm like, how do you know how to do that? Like he's like all of his organs and everything were to the side and like just insane. So he's an amazing guy.
That sounds cool. Well, maybe put us in touch if you
I will.
don't mind, and I'll just see like if he wants to come out, like
100%.
talk about like what was that like, because he's there while you're under, like reconstructing your face. Like
my first surgery was 26 hours. It was only supposed to be like 6.
26.
And my first question was,
how do you even stay awake like that?
I said, what did you eat? He's like, chocolate. I'm like,
your dad and your surgeon.
You're so right. There's so much.
I think we were talking about the chocolate thing off air about your dad, but that's funny.
Oh my God, I didn't even realize it. Yeah, he's. Can
you tell that really quick about your dad so that people have like the context difference? Like your dad loves chocolate.
Yeah, my dad loves chocolate. And one day I'm like, Dad, why do you like chocolate so much? He grew up in Lebanon, and his house was, destroyed a couple of times in, normal things that the Middle East goes through. But I remember an American soldier, he told me was trying to like help him make him feel better and gave him a piece of chocolate. And I was like, oh, that's why you like chocolate so much. It's like a happy, nostalgic, comforting feeling. But my dad only does 100% dark chocolate, no sugar, nothing added. Has that every morning with his coffee. It's so cute. But Yeah, my surgeon also likes chocolate. And I was like, what music did you listen? Did you have music that you were listening to in the hospital? Like, what was going on? Like, 'cause 26 hours is a lot for someone to be under. First of all, under anesthesia the whole time. Then I was in an induced coma for 2 days after that. Because I couldn't move anything because my carotid
Was
artery
that
was
planned? Like that you were going to be in an induced coma for 2 days, or did you know that beforehand that you were going to just
I
like
don't
be
know.
out basically?
I don't know. They told me that there was a a high percentage chance that like when they cut open my artery that I was gonna bleed out, and if that happens, we need to do this, this, and that. So, I was going into
Nervous
surgery
for
like
you going into surgery.
I was trying to be strong for my family. To be honest, like they walked me in, and I was like, I'm gonna be okay. But deep down, I was like, whoa, what am I doing? Like, what's about to happen? Like they're taking skin from here and doing it here and going through my neck. Like it didn't really make sense for me. I was just trying to be calm. Like I genuinely was trying to be calm. And I remember the nurse that I had um to do the pre-op stuff. She was like, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. She's like, I'm not supposed to do this. Do you mind if I pray for you? And I was like, yes, please. I need it. Like, please. So I remember I was like seated like this, and she just put her hands on me, and that's the last thing I remember. Absolutely the last thing I remember. I don't remember being wheeled back. I don't remember doing anything prior to the surgery. I have no idea. Nothing.
Okay. And so you come out and your first surgery, is that when you had like the kind of like big wide
Yep.
thicker
The Homer
fat?
Simpson look.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the first surgery. So I'd gone from nothing to having such a big bulk on my face, from the inside of my arm, and then yeah, was in an induced coma because my neck was cut open, so they didn't want me moving around or kind of
Yeah.
reacting. They wanted me to like heal for a little bit, and then I was in the rest of the hospital for I think like it was a total of a week. So that was also horrible because we're active. Imagine being in like
Right. Yeah.
a
Just
room with
like,
6 other people, and I'm just like antsy, and like other people, meaning it was the ICU, so there was like
yeah.
other people in the room with me, and I was just like antsy. I was like, I need to get out of here. Oh, I need to get out. Like I need to go walk around and.
What
It
was
was
that like sensation or feeling wise going from just like
horrible.
having like nothing
Horrible.
to like something so bulky?
Yeah, horrible. I couldn't even. It was like I couldn't even talk. I felt like I didn't say, like I
Yeah.
could talk. Obviously,
Yeah.
it was just an adjustment to every surgery that I had. I was readjusting to something, and you really like adapt so quickly as a human. You don't even realize like if you break your arm, you start using this one more, right? Or you break your leg, your body learns how to adjust to make itself comfortable, and that's literally what I was doing. Eating was completely different. I couldn't eat from a spoon. I have to flip it down. Straws are hard to eat out of. How do you eat from a spoon or a fork?
Yeah.
It's your upper lip that
Yeah.
like takes the
Yeah.
food away. So,
But that had that been like an issue since the attack? I mean,
yeah.
were you kind of
So I didn't have anything. So like before the attack, food would just come out. Like I'd be like eating, and I'd always have napkins because I didn't have an upper lip to keep like liquids in, or so it was just a learning curve for everything. Everything you could think of without an upper lip, like I wasn't able to do. But it's those little things that you realize when you don't have it,
yeah.
how much you're like then
Mhm.
compensating for. So yeah, it was crazy.
Where's your girlfriend in all of this? Tell me about her. You brought her up just briefly, but like
Yeah, I just met her. So I was with somebody else.
not right now, clearly.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah. I did have a relationship at that time, and I think everyone's in your life for a certain, reason. And she helped me gain my confidence. She was also there with me through a lot of the surgeries,
And you had just met her like right before the attack, right?
yeah, I did. 5 days prior. So we kind of like I put on. I was like, hey, I want to just be friends. I'm going through a lot right now, and she was like, no, I want to be there for you. Like, and I was thankful for her being there for me. I also was going through so much hard stuff with how I look. So having someone, my family, along with her, being able to be like, hey, you're beautiful. Don't worry, you're gonna get through it. It was nice to have.
Yeah.
Very thankful for her in that time of my life. I hope she knows how much she's helped me. Hopefully, but yeah. My girlfriend now is also amazing. She also was like, I wish I was there for you during that time. I'm like, I don't. I mean, it's just, it's a lot, I feel like, for someone,
Yeah.
I never want to feel like a burden in anyone's life, so
Yeah.
yeah, but she's lovely. She also helps me every day, just with everything.
That's
So
so good.
yeah,
Love it. Good
thankful,
people in your life. I
thankful
think
for
you
good
draw
people.
good people.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm happy, so happy to know you too. I feel like I want to hang out.
Definitely.
You're
Well,
amazing human.
we're gonna make that happen. Do you feel like there's anything that you draw in the hardships of getting through sport? Like you mentioned earlier, and it really it stuck out to me, and I was like, "Boop!" That was like a sound bite right
Mhm.
there. I was like, "That's so good." When you were like, basically, I learned by falling down and then like
Getting back
learning how
up.
to like not fall down again.
Mhm.
You know, like that was like your whole process was like the hardest thing first. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to fall a lot. But every time I fall, it's like I've learned a little bit more like from that failure, from that little mini failure. And like that mindset, I think that you had, like that really stuck out to me.
It's interesting because like skating, right? It's trial and error. You literally eat crap all the time. Like you are falling constantly to try to get a trick and it's mentally like you get so exhausted, but I will not leave the skate park unless I land the trick. That's just how I was. So like in life, I feel like I'm not, like you just said, like it was trial and error because I'd go to the skate park, I would fall. Then I'd be like, why did I fall? Okay, my foot was a little bit up. Let me move it back. Like you realize and you rethink and you process things so that you don't do it again, right?
Did you draw inspiration from other people too? Like at that
I
time?
didn't. No. I tried thinking about that the other day. I think honestly, my family. I was inspired by my family because my dad gave me the best piece of advice. Right when I'd gotten into the attack, I was like kind of like having a sad moment for myself. You know, when we go through some hard things, we kind of just want to feel sorry for ourselves, like have that moment.
Yeah.
And I was like in the car, and I was like, why is this happening to me? Like, what did I do? My dad's like, Brooklyn, don't think like that. I'm like, let me just have a moment. He's like, fine. He's like, don't let that moment turn into a week. He's like, don't let that week turn into a month. Don't let that month turn into years. He's like, feel it now, process it, but don't carry it on. He's like, there's two ways you can go with this attack. He's like, you can feel depressed about yourself, sit on a couch, feel sorry, wish it never happened. He's like, is that going to fix you? And I'm like, Dad, just like, give me a minute to like, give me a second. He's like, is that going to fix you? I'm like, no. He's like, then two, go live your life how you're going to live it. Heal one day at a time. Take it day by day. Take things as they come. He's like, figure it out in that moment, but don't let it affect the rest of your trajectory of your life. And I remember sitting there in that car and I was like, wow, like I still use that today. But I just remember him saying that and I was like, he's so right. But also let me have this moment to like, sit in it for a second. And then I still use that.
It.
Yeah, exactly. I still use that piece of advice because it's true. Like I can complain about my day, but is that going to fix my day? No, you could just take as every day as it comes and just like learn from sports, falling, failure to like become better.
I think that's really important what you said about it's important to give yourself space to process.
100%.
But you can't live.
You cannot live in
victim mentality. You can't live in your sorrow. You can't live in your grief. You got to let it move through you.
And I know so many people that do too. Like
many people.
I mean, honestly, everybody. And it's really rare to find people that make a positive from a negative. But a lot of people like to make it their whole. A lot of people online are like, oh my God, this has become your whole personality. And I'm like, it was a very big part of my life that has changed my life completely. However, it's not all me. I skate. I'm so much more than that, but I want to help people. So in that aspect, of course, it's something that happened to you that you're not letting it affect you daily, but you're trying to move forward and help other people through it too. And for me, like, yeah, just, I don't know. It's hard to sit in things for too long because then you do start feeling bad for yourself. Then other people around you start feeling bad. It's like a ripple effect.
Yeah.
It really is to be negative and then have everyone around you view that and then feel bad for yourself. Then it's just a lot of negative energy. Yeah.
I totally get it. I think it's contagious.
It is 100%. Being negative is no one wants one wants to like have to,
Yeah.
It is negative. Yeah.
So
it is contagious. I mean, not negative.
I feel like you've just been such a light, and for anybody who maybe has to go through something that is just difficult like that, I mean, I think especially being a young, beautiful woman, like you're really like blossoming into your career, you're professional skateboarder, all these things, like you're getting modeling gigs, all that, right? Yeah. And you are beautiful. And you're beautiful now, and you're beautiful then, and you're beautiful all across. But I could just imagine how challenging it could be to navigate that, like going from this part to like this part. It's like it just must have been such a transition
100%
in your headspace of like, okay, how do I do this? Like there's not really an example out there. Like how do I still like love myself and still like look at myself and still feel beautiful?
Yeah. I think like during all the surgeries I made it apparent to not view myself as a permanent look. Like I always knew I was transitioning into who I needed to be. Yeah. And through all the surgeries, it was going to become something different. So I didn't really sit in that area of, oh my God, I'm going to look like this forever. I honestly, genuinely, and this is why I'm so thankful for skateboarding. Anytime I felt weird about myself, I'd go skate. or I would look at myself in the mirror and I'd be like, you are loved, you are beautiful, you're where you need to be. Get out of your head and go do something that you love. And that's, I swear to God, the mentality that I had for those 2 years of surgeries. It was like, I could look at myself and be like, damn, girl, like, you've seen better days. That's not going to fix anything. It's just going to make me feel worse. So I would look at myself and I'd be like, you're beautiful. You're going through something. This is not forever. Go live your life. And that's exactly how I was. And that's exactly still how I live. Some days I'll like be in the shower and I like look up and I'm like, oh my God, that's so crazy. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, that piece of skin's on my lip. Like, what the heck? And he kind of like, I'm like, oh my God, that's so trippy, like to think that, right? But then I'm like, also, how cool is it that they were able to take this, put it on my lip to have a functional lip, functional-ish, to make it look like I have something that I had before.
Attitude of gratitude.
Exactly. Like we just talked about it, perspective. Like it's the only thing that you can have, because I can sit there and be like, that's disgusting that I have lip hair from my arm. And maybe people would in my situation think that,
I love it. I think
yeah, I'm just like, man, okay,
so
time to go shave or wax or like go do something to get this crap off. But
well, that's my favorite part about you, is that cute, authentic transparency that you have. Like, it's beautiful.
Everyone's thinking it, everyone's dealing with it, so you might as well talk about it. And I always say, like, the more we talk about things, the less people feel alone. Like,
yes.
I could talk about things that are weird that people probably don't want to talk about, but it's everyone's experiencing it and everyone's going through it. Communicate it. That's it. That's what the things I go on with my face and all my surgeries were very vulnerable, but thank you for saying that it was good and relatable, because I'm just like, it's going on in my life and I can't hide it, can't run from it, so I might as well talk about it, And
I think, granted, I've never gone through something like that, but I felt like I could resonate with you.
Yeah.
Being just genuinely who you are and your struggles and how you made it positive. Like, you made it funny, or like, did you know, like, this is just a weird thing. And it was just so cool. So I love following you. I love everything that you're about, what you stand for, how you flip the negative right upside down and you made it positive. And you've been great. Like,
and
so
just
fun
from our brief conversation, like following you as well, I know you do the same thing. So it's amazing to have like a like human that views life like me, I think it's rare, but when you meet someone that like you can genuinely feel like it's the best feeling in the world. So also thanks for being authentic too, because it's amazing.
We got to find our way in this world,
right?
It's a little bit crazy, a little sifting,
crazy.
Navigating, but
oh my gosh.
But you're great. You're awesome. Thank you for that message. Tell people where they can follow you and find you and see your story.
Yeah, my name basically across all the platforms. So Brooklinn Khoury, and
it's spelled Khoury.
Yeah, Brooklyn, Brooklinn. Yeah, Khoury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fun to see, and you'll definitely get the whole big picture of everything that happened. Anything when you scroll through. Actually, I was showing my fiance before, because he like just come home and I was like, oh, I'm heading out. And he's like, who are you doing the podcast with? And I was like, oh, let me tell you about her. Let me show you about her. And so he was like, that's really cool. So again, it's just that transparency and that honesty. So anyway,
thanks for seeing me and seeing it like that. I genuinely appreciate it.
I see you, girl. I see you.
Love that. Great. Yeah, you're so see.
All right. Thanks for being here today. I appreciate you. And let's go see what else Vegas has to.
Oh my gosh, so scary here. Thank you for having me. Have a good rest of
the day. You're welcome.